Well, Christmas is indeed here. And maybe you're watching the show tonight because you need a reason to escape a house full of relatives talking politics. I want to promise you that the focus of our show tonight is not going to be very political, because we all need a break from it. I swim in those waters most of the time, and I need a break. And Christmas has a way of helping us to refocus on things that are really important to us. You're surrounded by family and friends, the symbols and stories of our faith, and by the familiar foods and decorations that you've seen every year for your entire life, but you only see during this season, and hopefully it centers your world. Now, many of us will relish a special memory, a gift from years ago that changed us. My story begins in February 1964, when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. I was 8 years old, and when I heard them, I knew I wanted to be the fifth Beatle. But I was going to need an electric guitar, so I started asking for one. And that Christmas, I begged for it. But my parents said they couldn't afford it. But what else might I want? And I got the what else. So the next year, I pleaded for an electric guitar and again was told we couldn't afford it, but what else was on my list? You guessed it, I got what else. Now, the third Christmas, when I asked for the electric guitar, I added this caveat. And if I can't have a guitar, I don't want nothing. Now, it'd be years later before I learned just how close I was to getting nothing at all. But Christmas, when I was 11 years old, after 3 years of asking, I got an electric guitar, and I felt certain I was on my way to becoming the fifth Beatle. Now, that guitar was from the J.C. Penney catalog, and the entire rig with a small little amplifier cost all of $99. My parents really couldn't afford it, but they paid for it just a little bit at a time. Took them over a year before they could get it all paid for. I played that guitar until my fingers almost bled. But it would be the beginning of a lifelong love of music. I've made it about as far with the Beatles as I did becoming president. That really wasn't that funny. But the gift of that guitar changed my life. As hard as it might be for you to believe, I really was a very shy and bashful kid. But getting the guitar meant that I joined a rock band in junior high, and playing in front of people helped me overcome my fear of crowds. There is a magic to music in that learning music means that you learn how to learn. Learning music has been academically proven to improve test scores in math, as well as enhancing spatial reasoning. But it created for me an opportunity to learn a life skill that I continue to enjoy even at my ripe old age. I couldn't still be playing tackle football, but I'm still playing music. My parents made a huge sacrifice for me to have that guitar. I didn't fully understand how much of a sacrifice until many years later, but their sacrifice unlocked something in me. I assure you, I wouldn't be doing what I do today had it not been for that little J.C. Penney guitar. The special gifts in our lives at Christmas stay deep in us. But no gift changes us like the very gift of Christmas itself, that God came in person to reveal His love for us. And the great joy of the world is that we don't have to find God because He came looking for us. From the moment He came to that little town of Bethlehem. And while the gift from our parents may have changed our lives, God's gift changes our forever. Now, we all know that a Merry Christmas includes food and family and fun, but nothing brings holiday cheer like singing one of your favorite Christmas carols. That is, if you know the lyrics. Our correspondent, Juan Garcia, went undercover, or maybe I should say he went under antlers in downtown Nashville to see if people can really live up to the name Music City.